What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Daniel Sports Ledger, sports betting tips and picks for sports bettors. We got another good show. By the way, dude, our picks have been fire this last few weeks.
Oh, yeah.
Except for my NFL picks last week, not so fire. But everything else over the last few weeks, we have crushed it.
We have. And if it wasn't one of us, it's the other.
Yeah,
I'm not kidding. So
Yeah.
if you were to jump on my bandwagon, you took a couple bad beats here and there,
yeah.
but you smoked it on that
Nas-
the national championship, the semifinals.
Yeah.
Smoked it. Golly.
So we'll get into that one second.
Frustrating.
First of all, I gotta talk about something. I made a little noise on the internet.
I love it.
On Instagram mainly.
Ruffle some feathers.
So I talked about Mike McDaniel, and the thing I talked about was just the fact that he at some point he's got to stop trying to go viral. He's got to stop with the jokes,
Right.
and he just needs to
Toughen up a little bit.
yeah, he needs at some point. He needs a little Tom Coughlin in him. He needs a little Belichick, a little bit of Bill Parcells. And one person said that he doesn't need to change anything. One of the comments, he just needs to be himself. And I'm not trying to say that Mike McDaniels needs to not be himself. But there's a time where you lock the players in and you turn the jokes off and you say, okay, guys, right now, this is what we're doing for the rest of the season. We're getting serious. If players aren't being serious, you fine them, you tell them, hey, look, I'm going to sit you for a quarter, whatever. Like, he's got to get his point across at some point that, okay, guys, now is the time that we buckle down. And that doesn't mean that you change your personality. You're always the same person, but there's always a point where you have to just
flip the switch.
This might be
It's like a switch.
Yeah, this might be the wrong word for it, but you just got to get mad at people in a sense. You've got to be able to look, team, I'm mad right now. And, I watched all the Hard Knocks, and I was very impressed by him. So, again, I don't want to say he's a bad coach because I think he's better than most of the coaches out there.
Right.
He just needs this one little thing, and I think he's, it's going to make a huge difference. So we'll see. But I think he'll learn that too. I think part of it's maturity. He's still a very young guy.
Oh, super
he's
young.
like
Younger than us.
He's like a decade younger than us, I think.
Whoa. Oh, my
Sorry,
God.
buddy.
Let me grab my Kleenex.
We're getting there. Yeah. By the way, sweet Kleenexes.
Yeah, if you didn't notice, boom. Got my little Kleenex. Haven't had to use it much this year. Haven't had to.
It's because they
Always be
covering.
covering. And if they don't cover, we win.
There
It's
you
real
go.
basic. I'm telling you, man. But I really like what you're saying about that. I mean, I'm a full supporter of what you're saying. Most of the time I do. Sometimes I don't. But in this case, I mean, I love it. His interviews, his post-game conferences are they're funny.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of like the vibe he gives off.
Yeah,
to
and
the
I
team.
love that.
Players love him. But listen, we're getting serious.
Yeah.
Like you're getting ready to play against the Bills.
Yeah.
If you don't win this game, you don't win the division. I mean, at some point in time, the joke's got to cut, and it's like, listen, let's get down to the nitty gritty.
Yeah.
Let's get down to the nitty gritty.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I agree with what you're saying. You got tons of likes and tons of thumbs down on those.
I got 51 comments on it.
Right.
At least as of right now. They keep coming.
Oh,
but
they're coming.
I would say 95% of them were against me. So not many of the comments were for what I was saying.
Right.
However, I had over 375 people liked the comment. So yeah, I mean, I had 40.
Well, there's always
haters
gonna be people who don't want people to want others to change, right?
yeah.
That's where
And
we're
again,
living.
you don't have to change your personality. Just
No.
every now and then you've got to
It's like a switch. You got to flip that switch.
exactly,
Man. But what?
just like you do with your kids.
But here's the thing: why are we giving them advice?
I don't know.
You get what I'm saying? Why are we giving him advice? What are you trying to help him beat you? Is that what you're trying
I
to
like
do?
to see people improve. You know that.
Okay. I'll give you that. But still, I would not be giving nobody any type of advice.
Yeah.
Like, this is what you need to do in order to turn your team around and become the best team. Like, they're in your division.
I know. I hate that.
Anyway, well, that was a great little. You almost explained yourself pretty well. I mean, you did explain yourself pretty well. I'm sure you're going to have more comments, more dislikes, more likes
Yeah.
to come. But speaking of like, man, NBA last night,
Yeah.
monstrous. I'm on the phone with my buddy Ravi. Hopefully, you're watching this. Me and Ravi are on the phone. My buddy Ravi, he's driving back from Kingman, Arizona. He's actually the coach of Lee Williams High School. Phenomenal coach, by the way. Give him a shout out on that. Anyway, he's on his way home, and I called him up. I said, hey, man, Golden State right now is playing against the Nuggets. And I know it's only, the early part of the season and whatnot, but, I mean, this is a grimy battle. And at this point in time, his Golden State Warriors are putting it on Denver, right? I mean, they're just laying it in on them. 3 after 3, the proper pass, the proper screens, everything is going right. And I'm telling him, and we're living it up. And all of a sudden, here comes a bucket by Denver. And then we're like, oh, okay, we're still chatting it up. And all of a sudden, here comes the 3 by Denver. Next thing you know, here comes another 3 by Denver. At this point in time, Golden State is still up 12. You got to like Golden State up 12 in the fourth quarter. Am I right?
Definitely.
Little do you know, here comes another 3. Here comes a lob. Here comes the Joker with a little weird shot, right? Next thing you know, they're only up 6. Come to find out, they end up tying the game. Comes down to Curry with the ball with about 28 seconds left. Curry makes a horrible pass with 3 seconds, intercepted by Gordon. Timeout. And just in fashion of how the NBA loves to play these things out, first of all, let me explain this. Golden State is plus 3.5, and they're tied right now in Golden State, right?
Yeah.
You're thinking, okay, overtime, 3 seconds left. They inbound the ball to Joker. He's got it at half court. He's not making an attempt to go anywhere. Heaves it from half court and buries it off the glass. Denver wins by 3. Anybody who was hoping to cover that spread just annihilated. You're happy,
Yeah.
but annihilated. I'll tell you, it was a great game. And then, of course, in the game before that, we had Wembanyama.
Yeah.
I'm probably saying his name horribly wrong.
I love the way you say
it's
his name.
Wembanyama, and he's playing against Giannis, their first debut game. And this kid, I am telling you, this kid is going to be something else. If you took the Spurs, it was plus 11. You obviously covered. Both underdogs covered last night. It was only 2 games on the slate. I took both games. I took the Spurs and I took Golden State. But unfortunately, it's just one of those things where we're just not going to be able to see both them play against each other enough because one's on the West, one's on the East. But, man, I'm telling you, it was phenomenal. I'm excited. Once we're kind of wrapping things up with the NFL and we jump into strictly the NBA, dude, we're gonna have some picks for
and
you.
college basketball.
And CBB. March Madness is right around the corner.
Yeah.
I'm excited. And I'm not hopping on U of A this year.
No.
I'm not.
No.
I got a little surprise team.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I've been watching them. I'm
Okay.
not going to give it out just yet, but
don't
I've
tell
been watching
nobody.
them. And I've been making a little bit of dough. But
I love it.
yeah, so anyway, NBA was nice. And then before we jump off into the college football, which I'll let you kind of exploit that because I got my booty handed to me this weekend in college football. Golf is back.
Yeah.
Golf is back. Century Championship being played in the great state of Hawaii.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man, it's phenomenal. I was just watching on my phone before I got the automatic update that needed to be put into my phone, so I had to turn it off. Oh, it's great. It's great to have golf back. We got the Waste Management coming up in Phoenix here in a couple weeks, which we'll be attending.
Yeah, we got to go.
Yeah, we'll definitely be there. We're laying down a couple bets here and there on
Definitely.
the old golf, but I just want to let you know golf is back. I will have some golf picks in terms of if we hit it off on Thursdays, hit them up with like rounds, the player rounds. Some of these start a little later, and then just get you some ideas on where you should kind of lean towards which players, tournaments, things along those lines.
Yeah.
It's going to be exciting times, but I'm just excited. Golf is back. I might be one of the only few, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right. So
I love it. Well,
so congrats, by the way. I just want to throw that out to you. Congrats on you totally just spanked me this weekend. And
Well,
because we did take it kind of personal. I had Bama and I had Texas, and I
Yeah.
believed in them full-hearted.
yeah, you did.
Speaking
You
of,
really
let me
did.
just take a little sipperoo of the old.
That's a dope cup, by the way.
Tell me
guys.
this isn't a dope cup. Just like to show a shout out to Renee. Thank you for getting this for me. She got it for me for Christmas.
Shout out.
Mm-hmm.
Man, That cup totally distracted me.
Yeah, I threw you off. But anyway, we're talking about college football.
Yeah. Oh man. Okay. Whew. First of all,
Okay.
those games were incredible,
Right.
right?
Mm-hmm.
The Washington, it didn't go as high as I thought, but the
No.
Washington game did go over.
Right.
So Washington, it went way over too.
Mhm.
Well, yeah, it went quite a bit over. So the Washington Texas game, phenomenal. Happened exactly as I thought. Michigan had so many turnovers, but this is the thing. This is what I was talking about. Michigan, they had a medium-sized talent gap. They had all these turnovers, and Alabama still couldn't beat them.
Right.
And both games ended literally on the very last play of the game.
Incredible.
Yeah, so good.
But I mean, that's how close the margin of error was in terms of either losing or winning.
Yeah.
So I could have won both bets. You could have lost both bets.
So
ended
easy.
up being you both won and I lost. But
And I put my parlay up on Instagram so people could see it. So I had Georgia covering the 19.5, Washington money line, and Michigan covering. So
you hit that hard. But let's speak
that
about
was nice. 3-team parlay too. So
let's just mention the Georgia Florida State fiasco.
that was dumb.
I mean, you made a comment the other day. You're just like, and they still want to put Georgia out of the tournament, which is
Actually, I'm glad you brought that up because
which is understandable.
I'm glad you brought that up because I wanted to say this earlier, which is the fact that here's the thing. I don't think anybody can deny right now that if Georgia was in the champion in this, they beat the brakes off of Michigan, Texas, Washington, Alabama, and anybody else who wanted to play them. Georgia wins this just hands down, I think. I mean, I know Florida State had basically they were playing against they were playing.
It was like a high school team.
Yeah, they're playing against nothing. But still, I mean,
and it's not to dog Florida State. Florida State actually, what the reason is because obviously everybody knows everybody's on transfer protocols.
Yeah, they all left
or opt out. So
22 of them left.
Yeah. So I mean that's understandable.
And Georgia had a point to prove,
right?
Which they made loud and clear.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, I just still to this day I think Georgia should be in. I think they would have blown away, but we wouldn't have got those incredible games with them in some.
Well, I don't agree. Even though you say you wouldn't have got the incredible games, I don't think Georgia just comes in and wipes them out.
Okay.
I really don't. This is just my own personal opinion.
Okay.
Because I'm not biting on Georgia. How does Bama beat Georgia? And then Bama goes and loses to Texas or Michigan. My thing is this. What I see is what I believe.
I think Bama got really lucky.
Okay. But then I believe that Michigan got really lucky. Like, guess what I'm saying? And they beat Bama. Michigan got really lucky and beat Bama. Bama gets really lucky and beats Georgia. So I guess at the end of the day, what we're saying is it all just comes down to luck.
Well, Michigan had a lot of turnovers. Without those, that game would have been totally different.
What about the guy who can't hike a football?
Yeah, that's
like
true.
The whole game. Listen, I would have sat him down and said, your job is to hike this football through your legs to where your quarterback can catch it.
You always see them whenever you get a guy, like especially in the NFL, you ever see a guy struggling, comes in, he's struggling to do some snaps. You always see him on the side practicing. I never saw that with them.
Never once.
I'm not saying they didn't do that, but
I never seen it.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah. Normally, the camera goes, "Hey, look, they're practicing on the snap." You know,
right. And you would think with a Saban press group that this wouldn't even just be an issue.
Yeah, like
he would have shut that thing down right quick. But I don't know. I think Saban. You know, we've talked about this before, and I've been reading about it, hearing about it. I mean, is he done?
I don't know.
If they win the championship, he would have been done. That would have been a good way to kind of just call it quits. But it's tough to say he's going to be done now.
He still seemed pretty passionate in his post game.
Right, but here's the thing: is I think what old school coaches hate the most, right, is this transfer protocol.
Yeah, that's true.
You agree with that?
Yeah.
And then this NIL.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's changed the game drastically, and I think these old school coaches who thrive on bringing in large amounts of talent. How would you feel if
was it Rutgers quarterback or coach? I think it was Rutgers coach that said to get a quarterback in the transfer portal, you're talking like $3 million now to get a good quarterback at least.
Jesus.
Like, so now it's costing the school money to get these quarterbacks,
transfers and whatnot. And it's frustrating. I mean, it's frustrating to the game.
It's going to make the gap bigger or smaller. I'm not sure.
Because if you think of it, look at it like this. You come to Alabama for your freshman year. You're gaining all this knowledge. You're gaining all this experience. And then what do? You go and just shoot them off somewhere else. The player just says, you know what? I'm going to take all this stuff I learned and go shoot somewhere else.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got to be frustrating for the coaches, for the coaching staff, for the university, for even the teammates.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just a little frustrated with it myself, but hey, it is what it is. We got to live through it.
We got to see what happens when chaos settles. Because right now it's chaotic. We don't.
Oh yeah.
The next couple of years, we don't know where the money's gonna go. We don't know where the transfers are gonna go. But I'm sure once we see the chaos unfold, I'm sure the NCAA will. I don't have any trust. Never mind. The NCAA is the worst organization in the world, other than one other, but I won't mention. But
I love it. I don't even know what it is, but I kind of have a feeling, and I love it.
PETA.
He said he wouldn't mention it, but
All
he did. Hey,
Anyways.
real quick. So while we're still speaking college football, what are we thinking this weekend? What are we thinking on Monday? You going to give the fans a little, give them a little take?
Here's my.
I know
thing.
you hate to give this out. You don't even have to give your pick out, but where's the lean?
Yeah, so I'll just say this, okay?
Because this is a big one.
I'll just post some questions and you can guess right or wrong on who I may or may not be taking. But like I said from the very beginning, I told you Washington can win it all. I've been saying that.
Yeah.
Washington, man, they are good. They have the best receivers. They have the best quarterback in this game. They have so many things. But here's my ploy for Michigan, okay?
Okay.
Washington has one really big, glaring weakness. They have one glaring weakness. And I think this could cause them to lose the championship. This one glaring weakness.
I like that usage of the word glaring.
Yeah.
That was solid.
It's the right side of their offensive line.
You've been saying that.
And so Michigan, I don't know how they're going to stop Michigan, right? It's not like Milrow couldn't get around. Penix can move around a little bit better than Milrow, but they were able to get in there so quick and sack him. I don't know if Penix is going to do much better at getting away. And that right side of the line for Washington is just
horrific.
Yeah, it's not horrific, but it obviously got them this far. But against Michigan, I don't know that it's gonna.
It's not gonna hold up.
They have an uphill battle there, and then also, Michigan's not gonna make all those mistakes again, are they? The fumbled punt returns and all those things.
Right, that was big.
We'll see.
There's gonna be a lot of things that are really gonna equate to this thing. Plus, it's a whole different type of stress.
Uh-oh.
You know what I mean? Do we got a comment?
We got a comment from Ravi.
Do we got a couple comms?
Ravi says, "Did you guys talk about the Warriors winning the championship?"
No. Well, I spoke with my buddy
about the Warriors.
We spoke about the Warriors, but I talked to my buddy on the phone last night for an extensive amount of time. It was probably ridiculous. I got to the point where I had to ask permission. I'm like, hey, is it okay if I talk with this? Because we get to go in.
Yeah.
Me and him will talk on the phone for 45 to an hour.
Jeez.
Two grown men should not talk that long on the phone.
You don't talk to me that long.
No. Oh.
But this is our conversation.
This is
our weekly convo.
So it's funny though, because the Warriors, and just to comment on his question, do the Warriors have a chance to win the championship? I mean, they're like the sixth best team in the West. So, I mean, like to assume that they're just going to run through the East whenever this powerhouse of the East Coast comes into the championship, but you got Milwaukee, you got Boston Celtics, you got Embiid over there with the Sixers, who's the third best team. But Milwaukee is a powerhouse. And then just to even assume that you're going to beat Denver again. Like, you didn't even beat them. Denver came back from 50 to win. I was frustrated, but at the same time, it's like, man, Denver is tough. They're fully talented, fully locked and loaded. I don't think the Warriors got it. I mean, no. I think they're going to do good. I think, to be honest with you,
Draymond's coming back.
Watch what happens during the trade deadline. There could be a lot of shakeups in these teams.
Yeah. That's where you might win, Robbie. Is
Yeah.
if you guys can win the trade deadline, then you got a chance. By the way, Robbie, I want to come see one of your games.
Oh, you
soon,
have to.
soon. Yeah,
He's a
it's gonna be
stud.
fun.
Yeah, he's a stud.
Yeah,
He's out there just throwing chairs around and stuff,
Maybe
breaking chalkboards.
maybe heckle him.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
This
I
coach
tried.
sucks.
Oh, I wanted to, but he was getting it bad enough by the referees, so I just
Oh,
let
yeah.
it go. Yeah, the referees were giving it to him.
Robbie, you need to come to the Open with us.
Oh, he's definitely gone.
Okay.
We were already talking tickets and everything. So
All right,
he'll be there.
Robbie, you can buy mine.
Ooh, burn.
Just kidding.
Race for it.
Yeah, we'll race for a ticket, okay, Robbie?
You're never gonna forget the race.
I like that he can't talk back.
He just throws little comments.
Yeah, he's gonna write something.
All right, well, let's get into NFL.
Yeah,
Let's shoot for it. Let's go for the stars. We already know where the initial pick is going to go for old Guzman. As I just go ahead and raise up this old cup yet again. Them boys be covering.
always be covering.
Man, always be covering.
ABC.
Just getting them wins. I think, on that note, I'll just go ahead and jump first. I'll just jump head in. I'm going to go with the Raiders as my lock.
Okay.
And I hate to pull the old L word, but first of all, let's back up a little bit. I did the impossible last week.
Yeah.
What did I do? I pulled the old swooparoo.
Did you?
Is it sweeparoo or swooparoo?
It's whatever you
Can
want
you
to
even
call
put
it.
aroo on there? It doesn't even sound right. I pulled the old sweeparoo. Anyway, I pulled a sweep last week. I took them Raiders. We covered barely by half a point. Cleveland smoked them. Baltimore smoked them. And then I even threw a lock out there with Kansas City because of the frustration that had to have come by getting smashed by the Raiders the previous week.
Yeah.
So I hit pretty good. First sweep, week 17. Let's move it on to week 18. It's all about that momentum. You know
Right.
me. I'm all about that momentum.
That's right. You
Yeah.
are. You always have been.
Always. So what we're going to do is we're going to lock it in real quick. I'm taking those Raiders at -3. Denver has no chance. What's Denver playing for? Backup quarterback? Seriously? You're gonna
Yeah.
come in here and kidding me? So they're done. But then let's just jump straight to a 4-teamer.
I don't know. I don't know. The other thing about Denver is I just don't know how you play for Sean Payton after that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Or the organization.
At this point in time, they're shutting down. They're shutting down. Especially after that 5-game winning streak, and then for things just to go down south that way. Because for a minute, I was talking like,
Yeah.
yeah, Denver could have a real shot, and then all of a sudden, like, nope, Denver has nothing. And I'm like, and you're just like, yeah, I knew exactly who they were, even though you keep wearing this orange shirt, pissing me off. Anyway, let's jump into these picks. Jacksonville must win. I mean, we're talking about getting in. They need to get in. Jacksonville -4 handles business against Tennessee. Tennessee, one of the worst teams in the AFC. I don't even think it's going to be that close. We all know. I mean, I think it's lower just because they got Lawrence as questionable.
Yeah.
But dude, trust me, he's playing. He sprained his ankle week something.
Yeah.
Next week, boom, he was back in the starting lineup again. Trust me, he's not sitting out of this game. And then I feel like this is the easiest one. Bills. Buffalo Bills against Miami. They continuously win this division. Spread is -2.5. They probably win by 10. They go in there and handle business. Stephen A. Smith on TV this morning just ranting about Miami, just trying to boost them up. He was telling them that he's sick and tired of them, but at the same time, he's trying to tell them, hey, show me something. But they're going to fold.
Reverse psychology.
That's
kind of
all.
thing.
That's all he was trying to do. But they're going to fold. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, this Buffalo team, I told you, they will not lose another game. Now, what happens in the Super Bowl against the Rams?
Let's
Yeah.
get it. Let's go.
What happens in the Super Bowl against the Rams? I can't determine that because that's a whole nother
This
monster.
could kill my whole bet.
That could be a whole nother monster. But I'm telling you, Buffalo Bills do not lose another game until they get to the championship. My next one, dude, I'm taking Houston Texans. I think we're jumping on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're hopping on Stroud.
See,
Stroud's
Stroud's
back.
back.
1 point? Is it
Yeah,
1.5 or
it's
is
one.
it 1?
Depends on the book. MGM has one. So
And we're playing the Colts.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough game. I mean, they're battling as well. So, I mean, it's just I think that's just going to come down. And then once that, I mean, it doesn't matter if Jacksonville wins. Because I feel like maybe that's the reason why the point spread is so low, because Jacksonville wins the game. Like, it doesn't matter what Texas or Indianapolis do. Is that correct? Or are they one of the few teams that could still get in? I think they're the only. I think we talked about that earlier.
you have it. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think we talked about how I think it was there was only a few spots available. So it's obviously the loser of the Miami and Buffalo is in regardless.
Yeah.
Cleveland is in regardless. So I think it does. There's like Pittsburgh, Houston, Indianapolis. There's only a few teams left that are really just sort of kind of just trying to Oh, we got to pause. We got to pause production. What's this comment I see here? What on earth? Why does Manny look like he is Dracula's sidekick? Is that right, Big
You want me to-
Rob?
No, this is
Who is that?
I don't know, Paul Peters. Thanks for watching.
Hey, Paulie, I appreciate that, man. Hey, you know what? Hey, speaking of, I just want to jump into something else. That movie Dracula was bomb.
Yeah.
I seen that about 3 months ago. Yeah, it's like a remake where he has to do all this stuff to come Dracula to save his family. He ended up not saving his family, which is just it was crazy, but still. It was a
Spoiler
dope movie.
alert.
Yeah, spoiler alert. So, Paul, man, I appreciate that. I take that as a compliment, man,
All right.
because Dracula was a bad dude.
Yeah. But you're his sidekick, apparently.
Man, I'm always a sidekick.
Who is Dracula's sidekick? Does he have one?
Like Dracula's sidekick? No, but I'm saying he's like
I
what
don't
he's saying is if there was, I'd be him.
know. Okay.
But let me tell you this: I'm always the sidekick. We got the brain, you got Pinky.
Pinky in the brain.
Man, I'm always got to play the second role. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all right, good. I love it.
Yeah, that's my bad. Anyway, let me get back down to business. All right. Last pick, Green Bay -3. Green Bay needs to pick this dub up, keep Seattle out of the playoffs. You got a little something for me on this pick, but I'm telling you, Green Bay goes in there and handles business. Dude,
So
Jordan is going to handle that. I know, but you're right. Bears are going to.
I do have to throw that question out because
Okay.
I
Throw
think it's something that
throw it out.
I don't think anybody out there is going to talk about.
Okay.
My question is this. I think there's one person that has more to gain than the entire Green Bay Packers organization for winning this game, and it's
Quarterback
Justin
Fields.
Fields.
What happened? Did you?
I don't know.
Did you break or something?
I broke. Justin Fields. I think Justin Fields has more to gain than all of the Packers because if he might not be on the team next year. So he's still trying to prove that he should be on this team next year.
Right.
This is a good way of proving it by having a team that the rest of his team doesn't really care that much.
Right.
Surely they do, but they don't. The Packers care with everything. And if he can go in there and beat them and knock them out, then maybe he's giving a case for him to be on the squad next year. Because if he goes somewhere else, he's out of the NFL in 3 years, in my opinion. If he stays on the Bears, he's probably out of the NFL in 3 years. Either way. But I don't know. Maybe Justin Fields can turn the corner. Possibly. He's done some really good things towards the end of the season. So maybe he is that guy. I don't know. I don't believe in him personally, but we'll see. I don't know everything, but we'll see. But I feel like this game means more to Justin Fields than it does all of Green Bay.
Now, let me ask you this. With it meaning more to Justin Fields, for those of you who are thinking about taking Green Bay, if this means more to Justin Fields, is he good enough, though, to get him over that hump? Just because it means more. This isn't like it's like Pat, this is not like it's Mahomes, and it's like it means so much to Mahomes, and we know he's got the talent to take his team over.
Right.
But, I mean, this is Justin Fields we're talking about. I mean, there's a reason why he's fighting for his, NFL career life.
Yeah.
Because you guys just been horrible. He could run the ball pretty well, but everything has to work itself out.
Well, and the other question is, will the rest of the team fight for him? I think some of the receivers will, but
I mean, they'll take him to as far as they possibly can because also the less talent.
But you have to understand, if somebody really doesn't believe in him on that team, like an offensive lineman or something, they're not gonna ball out for the guy.
And does that come from your experience as an offensive lineman?
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just saying you know what I mean? I mean, there's a few dissenters on that team.
I 100% agree. Like we've seen the movies, we've seen everybody knows Hard Knocks. I mean, there's all types of stories about, teammates, offensive linemen. That's why at the end of the year, these quarterbacks are buying them Bentleys and diamond watches and you give support for it, So anyway, quick little recap, taking Jacksonville minus the points, Bills minus the points, Texans, Houston Texans minus the points. And Green Bay goes in there and handles business. That's going to be a tough one because it's only -3.
Yeah.
Division game, those games always end up kind of close. If you can get at 2.5, or if you can just take the money line just to guarantee it, Green Bay that game could just end up as a push. Green Bay wins at the end of the game by a field goal. Or like you said, Justin Fields comes out, plays ridiculous. It's more of a lean with Green Bay. But I'm telling you, that lock, dude, throw them Raider boys in there. Denver's got a backup quarterback. Crosby is going to handle this dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the Raiders got a lot to play for. I mean, we're showing up.
Yeah.
We're momentum going into next year. We're definitely going to make a couple Raider games this year or next year. This year, 2024.
Yeah.
Definitely going to make a couple games.
Definitely.
Going to get that. We're going to make a bet. I think we need to make a bet this year. Because I think we might end up playing each other 2024. So we might have to throw a little bet out there. Something kind of permanent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Something kind of permanent.
Yeah, something good.
So,
all right.
where do you stand, bud? I mean, I know you don't have much.
I'm glad you got 4 picks because I only got 2. That makes we tried to give 6 out,
At
but
least
whatever.
6, yeah.
So that kind of. All right. So by the way, last week I did. Admittedly, I went 0-3. That Lions. We all know about the Lions. Okay, we don't need that. That's exhausting.
And
you talk about that.
But here's the thing: is even though you went
all my teams won, but they didn't cover.
Right.
Except for the Lions, I had their money line to win. They covered actually.
But you gave them out to cover also, and then you also told people you're going to do money line.
Yeah.
Which was I was hoping to get a little script today.
Yeah.
That was nice. You got over 1K views on your.
I know I did. That's wild, right?
Yeah, that was pretty good.
So maybe I'll do one for the playoffs.
Ooh.
You know,
you're gonna have a little something up your sleeve.
I should have done one for the national. I was gonna do one for the national. I should have done that. Oh well.
Okay.
Cool. So this week I've got. Okay, so I have my Bills. They disappointed last week. They didn't cover. Bills are -2.5 or 3, depending on the book. The reason I have the Bills, though, because I really believe if the Dolphins were full power, they could come in there. They actually might crush the Bills' dreams. They might actually end our season. However, Bradley Chubb just went down. They have a lot of injuries, and Josh Allen's 9-2 against the Dolphins. We always beat the Dolphins, so the confidence there is just it's always really high when you just go in and beat a team that you're just used to always beating. And the Bills need it more. You know, there's a million reasons why the Bills should cover this game.
And they're at home.
I would no, it's in Miami.
Oh.
I would be really worried if the Dolphins were full power, but they're not. I don't think Xavier Howard's playing. That's a big deal. I think that's even a bigger deal than Bradley Chubb. Tyreek's, he's going to play, I think.
He's wobbly.
Yeah, he's wobbly.
He's got that ankle.
And so there's just so many things with that Dolphins team. I think one of the linemen's out, offensive lineman. So it's going to be tough for Miami to win that game. Also, I think Vivid Seats sent out a report that they estimate that 52% of the crowd is actually going to be Bills fans in Miami.
How is that possible? Oh, because a lot of New Yorkers.
Well, Miami sell their tickets. The thing about Miami sports is they're
bad.
Well, it's not just that. Miami and LA have the same issue,
right?
Which is the fact that they're in a place there's just so much to do.
Oh,
you can go surfing, you can do this. There's so much entertainment in those cities that we don't need to go to the game, or we can do this, or we can do that, or we can go out deep sea fishing, or what. I mean, there's a billion things that you guys can do out there. And so they always struggle with that. It's not like Buffalo where that is the entertainment. The Bills are the entertainment. That's really all you've got. Bills or Sabres or something like that.
Right.
Miami, there's just a billion things. Lots of fun things you can do,
The ladies.
So they don't really care about selling their tickets as much as other teams and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that's not holding anything against them. It's just, I don't blame them. When I was in Miami, I was like, I went for a weekend specifically to see the Bills. They won 35-0 that week. That was last couple years ago. Anyways, when I went to Miami, even I was having so much fun those first 2 days. I almost just skipped the game and was like, I'm going to go do something. I'm going to go surf or something.
Whoa.
But of course I went to the game.
But let's be honest. You were not thinking about surfing.
Something like that. No, I was gonna go to South Beach. I was gonna go to
Right.
South Beach and have some fun, but
There you go.
yeah. Either way, doesn't matter. The point is, yeah, I mean
There's so much to do.
there's gonna be a ton of Bills fans there. They have a ton of injuries. They want to win the game, but they don't need to win the game. The other part is that I hate that the number 2 seed now doesn't get a bye week. I hate that. And that really devalues the 2 seed now. So there's so much to it. But so I got the Bills, and then the next one, like I said in the NFL playoff special,
Right.
you know, we talked about
Who was going to come out of that division?
yeah, I talked about how it was going to come down to this last game, Texans or Colts.
It
Texans or Colts, and I thought Texans would win and get the playoff spot. So
because we did talk about who would win the division,
yeah,
and then we also talked, okay, if they didn't win the division, who get the playoff spot?
yeah. So I had Texans. I still have Texans. I have never had a lot of belief in the Colts this year. They're a good team, but you know, CJ Stroud's back, so I like Texans in this game. I like them to get that playoff spot.
Okay.
So those are my two. I got Bills minus 2.5 and Texans minus 1. It's only 1 point. So
let's jump a little something. You know, speaking on your pick there, do you think that Jacksonville wins the division with a big win against Tennessee? Does Jacksonville have what it takes?
that game's gonna be interesting.
Okay, this is funny because Tennessee only has like 2 wins.
I think they have 4, but either way, that's gonna be an interesting game. I don't know. Jacksonville's gonna be in for a battle. I think that's gonna end like 3-point game.
Wow,
Jacksonville has to cover
crazy.
4.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I think you almost take Tennessee plus 3 or plus 4 just because I think it's going to end 3 or 4 points. I think it's
But-
going to be really close at the end.
what is Tennessee gonna do? What are they playing for? Like, there's absolutely no reason to win. There's nothing like at all.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand that, like, you know, these,
But their coach, Vrabel,
right?
he's a guy that you finish. You finish the
to
season.
end. Okay, I like
You
that.
take that momentum into next year.
I like that. And I tell you what, man, I took Jacksonville because I've been riding Jacksonville, and I feel like Jacksonville wants to end strong. If they make it to the playoffs, they need to get in strong, because
Yeah, I want to see Jacksonville win, but
yeah. But I understand what you're saying about Vrabel. He is a monster. This kid he's a professional. I could see that. Well, it's going to be a tough one, but that's where I'm staying with. I'm sticking with Jacksonville minus 4. I don't even think it's close. Honestly, I really don't. I think Tennessee comes out, they play tough like they always do. Lawrence gets it together, throws a couple TDs, handles his business, and he gets in and out.
yeah.
By the fourth quarter, he's sitting, relaxing, taking it easy, getting ready for God. Whew, those top 3 in the AFC are going to be tough. Obviously, Ravens are getting the first round bye, but then guess what? Buffalo wins the division. You play Buffalo, and if they don't win the division, then you're going to sit around and play Miami at some point in time.
Mhm.
Or who's the? Let's take a look. We got Ravens. We got Buffalo.
Buffalo's just so wild, by the way, too. The
And then-
2 seed, they're either
Uh-huh.
going to get the 2 seed or they are out of the playoffs unless some wild crap happens. But they're basically out if they don't get that 2 seed. That's wild.
Well, it's going to be tough. It comes down to all tiebreakers and whatnot. They need some losses. I don't think Pittsburgh beats Baltimore, or I don't think Baltimore beats Pittsburgh. So that's pretty much out of it. But I don't think that some of the other games end in a tie. I really don't. It looks like Pittsburgh Steelers and Jacksonville. Let's see. So the way I see it, let's see. A tie would put them in the postseason. Let's see, as with a loss or a tie. So if Pittsburgh, but that's a tough game. Jacksonville, they need Jacksonville to lose, Pittsburgh to lose, or a tie in the Texan Colts game. Oh man, that's gonna be a tough one. So they just need to win. Bills just have to win.
Yeah, we got to
That's
win.
just how it goes. And then of course, like I'm saying, the other team that's just also waiting for you, people don't want to play either, is Kansas City.
Yeah,
They're the winners of the West.
yeah.
So they're just sitting there and like, yeah, you get into the wild card, but it's like, okay, thanks. Well, good luck. You're playing one of these teams.
And it's going to be huge for Buffalo to get the 2 seed. Actually, is going to be important because it takes you around the Baltimore Ravens
You don't play them until the championship.
until the
yeah, you
to
want
go to
that-
the Super
That's
Bowl.
what I was going to say. That 2 seed is important.
Yeah, you want to go. You want to be on the other side of the bracket of Baltimore.
You don't want to play them the first round.
Yeah,
Or the first 2. Well, you definitely don't want to play them after because they're going to get 2 weeks of rest.
yeah,
And I know people are like, oh, well, that might throw their rhythm off. Dude, trust me. When it comes to football, these guys are battered and bruised.
yeah.
Trust me. What did I play? Semi league?
And Harbaugh, after a bye, I mean, he's a really good coach.
Yeah.
You give him an extra week to scout you.
Oh, of course. It's going to be tough. Well, I'm excited. So it's not just going to be a little sham. It's going to be a good little week. There's a lot of things coming up. We got those picks locked in. I'm going for a back-to-back sweep, which I really feel like it's done. I might as well just close the books on this, go to sleep, wake up Tuesday.
Yeah,
Yeah. My pick? Michigan.
Michigan.
Michigan with the spank.
No,
I have to go. I'm just a constant. The only underdog team I ever pick is the Raiders.
You're just a Washington hater.
I am. Just never jumped on. I think the Pac-12.
You jumped on them early in the year, and then
I
you
wish
just
I would've
and then you
stayed
just
there.
and then you just jumped off the bandwagon.
Well, because
At
he got
full-
hurt.
It was
'Cause he
going
got-
full speed, and you just jumped
Because
off.
Penix got hurt, and then he comes back and he's not hurt.
Yeah,
Threw me off. Threw me for a freaking curve. Threw a curveball.
I think that's what happened to your hair, jumping off that bandwagon.
Oh.
Just kidding.
That
I love
is- Oh my! Did you say that fire wagon?
You jumped off the wagon.
Oh, wow.
The Washington's bandwagon. You just jumped off, and your hair
I
just,
think
just
you were.
went flowing.
I think you're talking about.
No, I'm not talking about that.
Oh man, good times. Another great segment, man. It's too bad we can't get together and do a little segment before the national championship. I
We
have.
can.
Yeah,
Well,
we would have to figure it out. I mean, it's just timing and just getting everything
we could
together.
do Monday morning
Yeah, we gotta
Oh,
figure something
or
out.
Sunday.
Maybe Sunday night. Sunday night segs.
Well, look out. Maybe we'll have another podcast before Monday.
Yeah. Well,
'Cause
quick shout out to everybody. Thanks for listening. Robbie, thanks for the comments, man. Yes, Daniel did play offensive lineman.
yeah, of course, we know that.
Yeah, everybody knows that. And Paul, man, appreciate it. Appreciate the compliment. I know you
Yeah.
took it as a joke, and I still take it as a joke. That's pretty funny. But I love my long hair.
Yeah,
It's braided most of the time. I just got a little lazy today. God forgive me.
yeah. It's all good. I love. Actually, you know what? It looks good.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
I don't look too wild.
No, I think you look great.
Okay, good.
Good job. Good job, buddy.
Good. Appreciate it, man.
All right. I guess that's it.
Okay. Well,
As-
let's wrap it up.
As always, guys, let's make some money.
Let's have fun.